in connection with income tax class. So far we discussed that residential status and another chapter called income from salary. From this session onwards we are going to discuss about income from house property. What is income from house property? What is the meaning for the term house property? All those things I already gave enough level of explanation. A house property is the property which is made of bricks, or even if the building having the thatched roof, it is with the wall, is named as the house property. If the land made with bricks or thatched roof or any roof and with walls, then it is named as a house property. Even the land appurtenant thereto also named as house property. If the house property is let out by the house owner or the landlord to another one person, is called as that income what he is getting, for what amount that property is let out, then it is named as income from house property. Here the income in the sense not the amount of sale, what the amount you are deriving from the property straight away. No, it is not like that. So what the amount of rent you are collecting, and that alone also not considered as the income from the house property. What the amount of rent you are collecting, and that amount is compared with other values, say municipal value, standard rent, fair rental value, then coming to that rent received, what the values you are comparing for the purpose of identifying, for the purpose of determining the income from house property. From that you are eligible to deduct some amount as expenses. This is income from house property. Whereas as far as that problem what we are seeing here in problem number 1, what you are seeing in the board is also the house property, but this is not the income from house property. Why? Because this is also the property is let out. Why? Because for that you please read the question. Have a look on that question. Mr. Sudhakar Rao had a house of 5 rooms, 5,000 rupees each. He paid 6,000 as municipal tax and spent 5,000 on the repairs of the house. He has given 2 rooms at the rate of 3,000 to his friend Mr. Prabhakar Rao. Compute his income from subletting. Please underline that word subletting. What I have explained so far is for the let out of the property, whereas what I read the passage is for subletting of the house. What is that subletting in Tamil? This is called as ul vadagai. Let out means vadagai. Here subletting in the sense one let out property is subletted to another person. What the amount of subrent you are receiving, subrent you are collecting for that subletted house, subletted portion, then it is income from other sources, not the income of the property. So let us take the problem, and in this rent received, rent here in the sense subrent received against the subletted portion, 3,000 rupees, 2 portions are subletted, so 3,000 into 3,000 for 2 rooms, so total 36,000, right? 3,000 into 12, 36,000, but wrongly I mentioned as 2. So, but you should make the correction, 3,000 into 12, 36,000 minus what are all the expenses for that subletted portion. You should deduct those expenses, proportionate rent and proportionate rent for that subletted portion and municipal taxes paid, repair charges incurred, all these things you will have to deduct. Why we are taking 2 by 5? Why we are taking it 2 by 5? Because the total property consists of 5 rooms. Of that 5 rooms, only 2 portion is subletted. So we are taking it a proportionate amount for that 2 portion, that is into 2 by 5, right? So when you are deducting the amount, proportionate amount for all these things from the rent received 36,000, then it is income from that subletted part of the property. Actually, it is named as income from other sources. See, in addition to this, you should know two things. Number one, when you are taking the income from the house property, you are not permitted to deduct repair charges, right? Whereas since this is the subletted and other sources income only we are going to calculate, so you have deducted the repair charges. Normally it is not possible in case of let out property. One. Number two, the proportionate rent we have taken. Only that rent charges, this is the total rent for the sublet part. For that we are deducting it. Whereas in case of house property, this is not possible. Okay, so this is a very very small problem, 2-mark problem, but this gives you, if the portion is subletted, how will you calculate the income?